Welcome into the rundown on Fox Sports Radio 1400 around the world on the iHeartRadio app. My name is Rob Sanders. I am here for you this afternoon. Storms may be rolling through here in the Midlands. Being that I'm a guy that when I was a kid, I was always like infatuated with the weather and news and everything else. I can remember like watching news with my grandmother and thinking it was the absolute most fascinating thing ever. Anyway, I say that to tell you that if there is something that's breaking as far as the news goes, I will be happy to take off my hat as a sports commentator today and put on my hat as a news guy to tell you what's going on if we all go to hell in a handbasket when it comes to the weather today. I will do that for you. But before we get to that, here's what I am going to bring you today. I told you I would talk about this yesterday. What would happen if Oklahoma and Texas joined the league in 2023? We'll get into that. Alan wants to know what in the hell is the Midlands? We are in the Midlands of South Carolina. In the Midlands, sir. That's where we are. Former basketball legend Cynthia Cooper made some silliness here. Said some things that she should not say. The USFL has put together something that I think is going to eventually carry over to the NFL. And ladies and gentlemen, this weekend, we're going to have one of the coolest sporting events of the year. I'm not going to go into deep stuff here with it, but I think that we should talk a minute about the Kentucky Derby just because I like the Kentucky Derby. Just saying. Brandon says he's in Clinton. He thinks it's considered the upstate. Well, that's fine. I'm not in Clinton. I am in Columbia. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's where I am. Shout out to the folks that are listening, of course, all over the country. I noticed from the podcast downloads, we have people in Poland, Ireland, and South Africa that download the show. I don't know who in South Africa is like, you know what? I want to listen to this chunky fool in the Midlands of South Carolina. I don't know who wants to do that. But apparently, according to the analytics, someone over there is listening. Actually, several someones. Anyway, this afternoon, though, I'm going to start with a coach that is whining. Now, normally, we would talk about the quote-unquote big coaches that are upset about NIL and the transfer portal and everything else. And by the way, they're going to keep complaining until they've already sent conference commissioners to Washington, D.C., because they think in their mind that the U.S. government, ladies and gentlemen, yes, your U.S. government, they think that the U.S. government can fix NIL. So that's where Greg Sankey was there, the commissioner of the Big 12. They were there yesterday, hoping to get NIL under some sort of control. I'm at the point now where I'm looking at all of this stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Here's the problem. There are still going to be people that are going to talk about, oh, well, the schools are paying the players. No, if you think that way, you are not very bright. The problem is that the schools, in theory, don't want to pay the players, but they still want the players to come to school there. Not that they're going to be professional not that they're going to be student athletes. That is an oxymoron of its own. But the schools, they're not paying these kids. NIL money is paying these kids, and that's collectives of boosters that are putting themselves together and, trying to get the absolute best thing going for their university. Here's a way that they could fix all of that. Set up some sort of payment plan that's a little bit more than what they were getting. Okay. And what I mean by that is that, yeah, they get a stipend, but in the end, set up something where the university pays for that, and not your average person can just walk up to some young man and be like, hey, I want you to do endorsements for my website. Or I want you to come on, and I've seen this too, where they'll do like a video where a player is testing a product or whatever. Like Bojangles did that with DJ Uiagalelei last season, where they gave him a bunch of chicken to feed his offensive lineman. And it's like, hey, here you go. Video that. And that's supposedly going to help Bojangles. So there's that. That's one way to fix it. But I'm also at the point where I'm tired of hearing coaches complain about it. Here's the thing. And look, I'm going to call out some dum-dums today. Jay is dumb, and Peg and Megan is dumb. They're hanging on the situation with Dabo Swinney's brother in the upstate, where apparently he was doing some stuff that he wasn't supposed to do. Now, the problem with Jay and with Peg and Megan is that they want to have a valid football program like Clemson has. They would love to have a coach that could develop quarterbacks, but they can't. They would love to have a coach that could win national titles without a generational type defense. They would love to have a coach that could look at a quarterback and say, you know what, we're not going to have the guy from Where's Waldo as our quarterback. So they like to pick at Dabo Swinney because of his brother who has some issues, which, by the way, it tells the kind of person that you are, because the brother has had a traumatic brain injury, and that it feeds into some of the things that he's done. So it shows you how ignorant that you are, because you are making fun of someone that has issues with his brain and trying to tie it to Dabo Swinney, who's not been charged with anything. Not been charged with anything. So there's lots of people that are running their mouths about that. Did Dabo Swinney do this? No. Under that logic, I could say Kirby Smart is all about raping, because the Georgia Bulldogs led the conference in raping last season. So therefore, Kirby Smart's okay with raping. Kirby Smart didn't rape anybody, and I would be stupid to say things like that. But under the logic of the dum-dums that are in my chat room today, I can say things like that simply because that's how they think. Reevaluate the way that you think, sir. Reevaluate the way that you mock people. Go and read some things. I know reading is hard, unless it's picture books and Dr. Seuss novels. No, it's hard for you folks. I do think that Dabo Swinney's brother should be held accountable for what he did, and he will be. But trying to tarnish what Clemson has done, simply because your program may have won the national title, but you're not really where Clemson is as far as, winning national titles with teams that don't have that generational defense. We've talked about that. You want to be Clemson so bad. So bad. You can't be Alabama. You sure can't be Clemson either. It's kind of silly. But anyway, coaches are complaining a lot. But I'm tired of hearing coaches complain too, and I'll tell you why. We're at the point now where all of this is legal. You can do better as far as putting together NIL opportunities for your players. So when I hear that Scott Satterfield, the Louisville head coach, is upset because apparently Tyler Harrell, who is a young man that's transferring from Louisville, he thinks that Harrell has been tampered with by Alabama. Here's the problem, sir. Why can't you do this? Why don't you go and get some players of your own? No one wants to hear you, they're tampering with my players. Here's a thought. Do a better job of keeping your players there, and you won't have that problem. Get a quarterback that can throw him the ball, and you won't have that problem. This is not that far-fetched. You want to be a college football head coach, you want to make the millions of dollars that you get, this is part of it. You have to deal with it. And I goofed on these guys over here earlier, but you know what? Dabo Swinney's making $7 million, and he has to put up with what they're saying. Kirby Smart has to put up with what I say, and he gets paid $8 million. So that $8 million, it's almost like a luxury tax. Yeah, you're going to get popped with it, with whatever it is that I want to say or whoever else, but you're going to go home with $8 million. I'm not going to make $8 million probably in my life. But these coaches will, and that's why this bugs me. Satterfield said, after Harrell committed to Alabama 2 weeks ago after he caught 18 passes for 523 yards and 6 touchdowns over 13 games. Hold on. This guy caught, I didn't know the numbers were this big. I highlighted them, but I didn't read them. Check this out for a second. 18 catches for 523 yards in 13 games. That's a little over a catch a game. Okay. Anyway, went to Alabama spring game, decided he wanted to go and play there. Satterfield says, I think it's not only him, it's happened before here. Last year, we had a few guys that jumped into the portal, and the next day they're announcing where they're going. You can look at that and know that something went on before they were in the portal. Yeah, of course. Why the hell wouldn't I go into the portal if I didn't know I was going somewhere else? Am I just going to sit in this land of purgatory and not have another spot to go? Look, when I hit the transfer portal, you need to come to me with more stuff. That's what you need to do. You don't need all this nonsense of, they entered the portal and then they left. What a mess. 803-978-1832. Let's go out to the phones. Welcome into the rundown. Good afternoon.
You need to calm down, sir. Take a deep breath.
Why do I need to calm down? I am perfectly happy, dude. I'm a happy individual. I'm not like you. I'm a happy guy.
Yeah.
I'm happier than Bozo the Clown when they came out for the grand prize game and the kid got the up to like, what was it, 6 buckets? You're old enough. You remember when Bozo the Clown was out there and you wanted to be on the Bozo the Clown show? You wanted to win the Bozo cake. You know you did. Then you get a coach that looks like Bozo the Clown if we put face paint on him. You should be happier than a lark today, just like I am.
You through, Rob?
You called me, brother. Spill it. Let's go.
You're going to give me just a second?
Brother, if you want to play ball, you need to come up here and have it. Don't call and then poke at me and expect me just to sit here. If you have something valid for the program, spit it. Let's go.
I sure do. All I said was Dabo's brother drives an ice cream truck.
Yeah, you know what you were implying, though, so stop it. Stop it.
Now, you implied that we lead the nation in rape. Now,
you did.
The person who was accused was Adam Anderson. Now, are you aware that he may have CTE? He may have suffered some brain injury you're not aware of?
Is it documented that he has? Because the research shows he probably doesn't. But go ahead.
It very well may be, but you wouldn't know if it is. See.
Okay.
And as far as us, me and Jay wanting to be Clemson, why would we want to be a program we dominate?
You want to be Clemson. You know you do. That's why you always sign off every day with the same thing, man. You want to be there so bad. I tell you what, here's what I'll do for you, sir. And I'm going to offer this just to you today. I will be happy to get, I have some good friends that can do some bedazzling. We will get you a bedazzled Clemson tank top for this season. And we're not going to get you an orange one. No, sir. We're going to go all out, full regalia with a nice big tiger paw right there next to your bosom. What do you think about that?
I think your program is crap and your schedule is a joke. So you're still going to wind up winning 10 or 11 games. But it's because you play every Saturday at the YMCA. You're not in a real conference.
All right. Well, that's not absolutely true, but you have a right to your opinion.
Rob?
Yes.
You have a great weekend, 43-18, sir.
Have a good weekend, sir. Appreciate it. Peg and Megan joining the program today. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. That is the number to dial if you'd like to join us here on the Rundown on Fox Sports Radio 1400. Things like Scott Satterfield, coaches, here's a thought now. It's no longer cheating. You need to get your butt on that rubber chicken circuit, where they give rubber chicken dinners to folks in the summertime. You need to find you some, what do they have in Louisville that's viable? What do we got? Anybody want to help me out with that? Big Barney Ross lives in Kentucky. What do they have in Louisville that's worth a damn? They've got, I don't know, fertilizer plants. What else do they got in Louisville? Get together with all those people that own fertilizer plants and rubber dog poo stands, all that. Whatever it is that's valid up in Louisville. Get up there and get those guys together and say, you know what? We need to get this guy and keep the guy that caught 18 passes for 500 yards last year. We need to keep him here. So I need you to come off some of that fertilizer money. Yes, sir. We'll have our guy stand out here. He'll agree to do it. He'll talk about your fertilizer till the cows come home. That's what you need to be doing, and stop complaining about what Nick Saban's doing and what other coaches are doing, because you know what? They're playing by the rules. And even though Jimbo Fisher is the king of the idiots, he technically played by the rules too. Stop whining about it. Elijah says it's meth. Alan says it's the Louisville Slugger Factory. Big Barney Ross says a dog food plant. Whatever it is. It's not like they're going to be like, hey, I only want to endorse Frosted Flakes and Nike shoes. No. I mean, unless it's adult oriented, which, by the way, that needs to go away. I mean, strippers pay taxes too. They should be able to get guys to come and support them at the clubs. Got nothing wrong with the single moms out there making their money if they got to do it at the strip club. There's nothing wrong with that. This whole morality thing, that's all went out the window. It's not like they're student athletes. Who cares? 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. That is the number to dial if you'd like to join us here on the Rundown. This is Fox Sports Radio 1400. And side note, Kirby is right. If you don't have haters, you ain't doing it right. I think he's talking about Jay. I appreciate Jay running his mouth on the show. I did not see all of what Jay, what did Jay say? Hold on, I'll scroll up. Did he write it in hieroglyphics? Am I okay? So that's comments. This is dumb. That's dumb. Let's see here. Let's see the other things that are dumb from Jay today. This is dumb because it's not orange and purple. It's orange and regalia. Look that up. It's hard. Yes, I do collect Smurfs memorabilia. Are you upset? Do you want my 1985 version of Azrael the cat? Is that what your problem is, Jay? I don't know if I'm going to do USFL picks today. I might not. I do appreciate Jay commenting though. And I may say silly things on here, but nothing but respect for folks that show up every day. Now, Peg and Megan, on the other hand, that guy's an asshole. I don't like him. Put that in stripes. He can go to hell in a handbasket. The Smurfs memorabilia. I like that. Good stuff there, buddy. Good stuff. Welcome back to the Rundown on Fox Sports Radio 1400. Out to the phones we go. Welcome into the program.
Yeah, what's up, Rob?
How you doing?
This up close person, doing good, man. I kind of agree with you with the NIL. I think really, man, I think the NCAA, they really dropped the ball with it, and nobody want to take accountability. And I think really what they need to do is to make it fair across the board. Just have a cap. Say, hey, everybody, $100,000. That's all. You can't go anymore.
For the team or for each player?
For each player.
Okay, cool. So make sure I had the math.
Because
right.
you wouldn't have multiple players just jumping from deal to deal. So you won't have a team. You could keep people from going to the transfer portal just to get more money.
Yeah, I can get that, but I was listening to some podcast today, and I can't remember who it was because I would give the guy credit for it, but he said there is a player for the University of Miami basketball team that got $800,000 in NIL money this year, and I'm not joking. I consider myself someone that follows college basketball a lot. I don't know who the hell this guy is, but he got $800,000. And I have no clue who he is. So that tells you how out of touch this NIL thing is. I mean, you got punters making crazy money now. Punters. Guys that normally they don't even like them riding the bus. They make them ride a van because they don't want them on the bus anyway. I mean, seriously, it's like everybody is getting overpaid. I mean, I know it sounds kind of silly, but the reality is maybe what you said is correct. Most of the leagues, I mean, the NFL, the NBA, all of them have salary caps of some sort. So maybe what you're saying makes a lot of sense. We shall see.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. It's been bothering me for a while, man. I think that's how you can kind of save college football, because right now college football is going down a rabbit hole, and I don't know if we can save it.
You're probably right about that. Hey, man, I appreciate it. You're always welcome on the program.
Thank you, man.
All right, there you go. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. That is the number to dial if you'd like to join us here on The Rundown, here on Fox Sports Radio 1400, of course, around the world on the iHeartRadio app. I don't know how to fix NIL. What he said made sense, having a quote-unquote salary cap. But you know what, though? I think that since they're not in a union, the players aren't in a union, they don't have anybody to negotiate for them, which means this may get struck down in court. Let's go back out to the phones. Welcome into the Rundown. Good afternoon.
Hey, it's Big Barney Ross. I just wanted to comment on the NIL.
Right.
Now, Mark Stoops has been complaining all last year, and he finally just made the comment on live TV. It does absolutely no good to complain. What you've got is a set the no rules whatsoever. You've got another Abu Ghraib situation brewing, kind of like politics. Politicians ain't held accountable for nothing. They pretty much earmark whatever they want. And until we can get somebody trustworthy to actually draw up a constitutional amendment to where everybody benefits, only the strong shall survive. And I'd like to take a moment of silence for the Cincinnati Reds.
Hey, by the way, they're shipping that banner. I chipped in on this for the Cincinnati Reds because I like to help the poor. The Cincinnati Reds are getting a banner from several of us that I hope that they will hang. And they call it, do they still call it the Great American Ballpark? They should take that off there because America and the Cincinnati Reds shouldn't be on the same poster. But the banner says split a series with the Atlanta Braves. Congratulations. Way to go, Reds.
Yeah, well, they really should rename it the Riverfront of Tears and go with that. This is Big Barney Ross. You think about it, I'm out of here.
Big Barney Ross is correct. The Riverfront of Tears. Very good. I used to do a podcast just on baseball with my buddy Jonathan Reed from WNOK. Jonathan Reed has passed away. And I miss doing that damn podcast because we would just talk about nothing but baseball. If you were into baseball, you liked that podcast. It was like nerdy stats and all kind of stuff, but kind of miss that. I don't like doing a whole bunch of baseball stats here because it's like a tailored audience. I mean, you really, really have to really be into that kind of thing. But I did chip in on the banner to send up there to the Cincinnati Reds for splitting a series with the Braves. Congratulations. 803-978-1832. As far as the NIL stuff, when coaches come out and they complain about it, tired of hearing it. Tired of hearing it, man. You can go out and do your things too, especially if you're in a Power 5 conference. If you're in a Power 5 conference, I really don't want to hear anything from you. Go out, and if you think it's cheating, then go out and cheat better than everyone else. Because you can do it. Until they get to a point where they walk it back. They do the old Michael Jackson moonwalk thing from 1985, whenever it was that he did his first set of moonwalk stuff before he set his face on fire in a Pepsi commercial, that kind of thing. Yeah. Till they moonwalk it back like that, go out and get whoever it is you want. And by the way, for teams that are trying to make a name for themselves, like the South Carolina Gamecocks, think of it this way. They went and they got Spencer Rattler thinking this is the guy for this year. You think Spencer Rattler is going to be here for the following year? Nope. Nope. You have a shot to go and get a player or two that could bring your team from 6 wins to 9 wins, maybe 10 wins. Or maybe you're a 9 or a 10 win team now, and you want to put yourself over the barrel, sort of like Kentucky was trying to do when they offered Jordan Addison, what was it, $800,000 at the end of the season? Yeah. Yeah, remember that. They were trying to get over the hump of being that 9 or 10 win team to, you know what, maybe we can make Georgia sweat in the second quarter. Just a little bit before they put the game away. That's what they were hoping to do. They were willing to drop $800,000 to do it. Tennessee's trying to get back to the T. Martin days. Yeah, they're willing to drop $8 million with their quarterback that's coming in. They're not dropping it. The NIL collective is. But you have the opportunity to do that. And by the way that the laws are set up now, your coaches can talk to these collectives. So when you are complaining, like Scott Satterfield is, maybe it's just because you're lazy and you don't want to go and talk to these collectives. You think you should sit and look at game plans all day and try to figure out how to get your 2-star lineman into situations where he looks like a 4-star lineman, instead of going out and getting an actual 4-star lineman that doesn't have the ability to drop down and be a 2-star lineman. So I think it's laziness is what it basically boils down to. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. That is the number to call if you'd like to join us here on The Rundown this afternoon on Fox Sports Radio 1400. Jay says Tennessee is taking out loans for Domino's Pizza Day, but can pay $8 million for NIL. Once again, I get where he's coming from, but Tennessee is not paying it. NIL collectives are paying it. We all need to look at it from this perspective. It can look, now the coaches can tell you, hey, as this is what we think would be the best investment for our team, go and get this guy. But in the end, it's the fan bases, it's the boosters that are paying this. It's the old-time boosters at Tennessee that are tired of watching Alabama smoke cigars for 27 years in a row? It's those guys. Yeah, those are the ones that are paying it. They just get advised by the coaches. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. This is The Rundown. You're listening to Fox Sports Radio 1400. It does bother me, though, and I know that this sounds like I'm belly aching about this, and maybe I should just stop bitching about it, but I get frustrated when it's like they want you, like your alumni wants you to give money to the school, and then let's say that you give them some money, okay? And you go to school and they still got, Nothing has changed from when you were there 20 years ago. That kind of thing. Stuff like that bugs me. Schools are just constantly begging for money. It's insane. It's like the old, and I know I'm going to piss people off with this. It's like, remember when we were kids, we'd go to church? We'd go to church and they'd have the roofing fund. And it was like a thermometer. And it's like, donate to the roofing fund. It's like we're trying to get a new roof every summer. That kind of thing. Yeah, it's the same thing with colleges. Do we need a new roof every summer? I mean, Cam Newton's dad thinks we do. You're ready for the UGA segment. What do you want me to talk about with UGA today? You mean talk about the fact that you had Anthony Edwards on your basketball team and you were still hot dog water? We could talk about that. I want to talk about the fact that, I don't know. I mean, I can come up with something. Big Barney Ross is correct. Scott Satterfield lied about getting an interview for the South Carolina job. He was never considered. So there's that. Oh, I'm going to go coach at South Carolina. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're lucky to have the job at Louisville, sir. Please shut the hell up. By the way, I think we figured out the Tennessee song that will replace the Where We Mock Georgia Forever with Blondie. Yes. Yes. We're going to have that shortly. We'll announce that on Sunday. Peg and Megan says, talk about how we're the Patriots of college football. What, you don't win anything? Your quarterback leaves and your coach looks like an idiot on the sidelines? Is that what you want me to talk about? 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. That is the number to dial if you'd like to join us here on the Rundown on Fox Sports Radio 1400. Around the world on the iHeartRadio app. My name is Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining me here on a Friday as we get you set up for the weekend. Mother's Day weekend, by the way. I have to read this. Hold on. I don't want everyone mad at me. I make sure I read this. You know you got to take care of your mama, right? Some of y'all like your mama. Some of your mamas may have beat you with coat hangers. That's okay. You still love your mama. You can get your mom the Mother's Day gift she deserves. Now, a lot of you may not have the money to get your mama the gift that she deserves. Okay? Or maybe you think your mom only deserves, I don't know, the podcast for this program, which would be a fine gift. Put that up there. That's fine. But the gift that she really deserves is a trip to luxurious Fripp Island right here in South Carolina. You can enter to win now at our website, foxsportsradio1400.com, with the Mother's Day getaway. Go to foxsportsradio1400.com and enter now. And hey, if you win, you know, you're in your 40s now. You can tell mom, hey, you know what? I hated when you made me eat souse when I was a kid. I didn't like your meatloaf. You didn't have to beat me with a coat hanger. You can tell your mom that on Fripp Island, and she may not beat you with a coat hanger down there because she can watch the deer walking on the beach, and she can ignore you. That's the kind of Mother's Day you want, right? There you go. Enter to win the trip. foxsportsradio1400.com. Jay asked if I remember the Don't Call Me Chrissy show on Jim Rome. Absolutely, I do. So if you call me, I can play that. That's actually really funny. Alan, he says the Midlands for Mother's Day. No, sir. Fripp Island is down near Beaufort, which is on the coast. On the coast, sir. On the coast. Big Barney Ross also says Kentucky is producing a $25 scratch-off lottery ticket to use for NIL money. I hope that's a joke. That would be funny. That really, really would. All right, so a couple of things here before we get out of here today. What would happen if Texas and Oklahoma joined the SEC in 2023? It's not that far-fetched because We just found out this week that Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF are negotiating buyouts to get out of the American to join the Big 12 next year. And, of course, the rundown from that, the other teams that'll be going into the American, et cetera, et cetera. But what would happen if Texas and Oklahoma joined in 2023? A great article I found on this. The Texas and Alabama game in 2023, which happens next year, would probably still be played but treated as a non-conference game. Why is that? Because they're playing the one game this season, and you got to have the other one to balance it out. So that's interesting. Oklahoma and Georgia in 2023 would probably not be played, simply because that's the first in a series and they're going to be in the conference. So you're going to end up eventually playing them anyway. An A&M Texas matchup would finally be on the calendar. Look, you talk about schools that don't like each other. Those two don't. That's why Texas A&M joined the SEC. They didn't wake up, and decide, you know what, I want to go play against Alabama every year. No, they hated Texas. We've got to get the hell away from them. And now what happened? They probably didn't even take A&M's vote. They're probably just like, shut the hell up. We get Texas. And A&M's like, okay. Anyway, I hope that if they put them in different divisions, that they make them cross-conference rivals, just because I think the fan bases might beat the snot out of each other. So there's that. DeReal MVP says Texas is going to go winless in the SEC. If you put them in the West, yes, I believe so. I believe you're right. Tell me seriously, pick one SEC West team that you think would lose to Texas right now with just what we know. I mean, I guess if you told me I had to pick one, I would give you the Auburn Tigers because I think Brian Harsin doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Yeah. Other than that, I think every team in the West beats them by probably 9 to 14 points. Seriously, right now. In the East, I goof on the East a good bit. I think that Georgia would beat them by 17. South Carolina, especially they play in Columbia, they probably win by a touchdown. I'm not sure about Florida. Not sure about Mizzou. I think Kentucky beats them. And I think they beat Vanderbilt. So there's that. Anyway, we definitely have that to look forward to. We also have to think about some other things. There are going to be some players coming into the SEC next season. Quinn Ewers, the guy who got all that NIL money but never really took a snap, he may be at Texas next year. He may not. Who knows? And you may end up with Arch Manning in the conference. Where is he going to end up playing? Seriously. I mean, is he going to go to Ole Miss? Is he going to go to Tennessee? Where is he going to go? Who knows? Who knows at all? He took a visit to Virginia. Okay. And DeReal MVP with a good point here. Texas lost to Kansas. Vandy can't be much worse than them. That is the first positive comment we've had about Vanderbilt football on this program. It really is. I never thought I would see it. The show is getting a lot broader, and we're becoming more accepting on this show. No, we're not a woke program. We're not like that. We just realize that there may be some things that we may have to give some leniency on. Vanderbilt may beat Texas. Who knows? If they come out and they put that effort they put out against Kansas against Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt might beat them. Boy, they'd hang a banner at Vanderbilt for that. They'd hang it at the baseball stadium right next to the Vandy Boys sign. I just cringe every time that you I listen to some of their games because I like college baseball. Listen to some of their games on the radio, through the internet, obviously. And you'll hear them. The Vandy boys. Shut up. Just stop it. And I agree with what somebody said yesterday about the whole their mascot looks creepy. Yes. Yes, he does. That Commodore does look kind of silly. Jay says Vanderbilt is licking its chops to play the Shorthorns. Yeah. You might be right about that. Vanderbilt fans, the 4 Vanderbilt football fans, they're all looking at that Texas game going, you know what? We might be able to compete in that one. We can beat Middle Tennessee. We can beat Northern Illinois, and we might beat Texas. We're good for 3 wins this year. That might be a conversation that's had with the 4 Vanderbilt football fans. All right. Final segment of the show coming up here on the rundown. If you want to get your call in, 803-470-2905. Scott Satterfield is our whining, complaining fool for the week. Got nothing for him. Stop whining and go recruit. Do better, sir. More of the rundown when we come back. This is Fox Sports Radio 1400. Now Jay's being stupid. Jay, do you start drinking at 2:30 in the afternoon? I'm beginning to believe that. So some behind the scenes news. I don't know if you guys knew this about me or not, but I own my own DJ company. Imagine that. 9:45 a.m. Very good, sir. That says a lot. We know that you're tanked by the time you get to the show every day. Anyway, now that we're through with the COVID, I'm starting to get DJ gigs. And I'm thinking, all right, I can handle it. You know? I have a DJ gig tonight. And this one's kind of silly. It's a dance company that they put on dances for the private schools in our area. So all of these private schools will come together. It's sort of like their prom, basically. And so I'll DJ that tonight. And then tomorrow, I have to get up at the ass crack of dawn. And I will be going to DJ the Miracles in Motion 5K to help out folks with autism. Ugh. Jay says, I haven't been drunk in 20 years. That's because your liver's hard. Good point. Yeah, I used to DJ like every weekend, but now it's like, oh God. It's like I gotta go and do that tonight. Oh man. I can DJ wherever you are too. I mean, I'm not gonna travel far. But if you're around Columbia, I'll come DJ your show, event, wedding. Shut up, Jay. What kind of beer do you drink, Jay? Seriously. I can guess what people drink. Big Barney Ross probably drinks some sort of IPA with some peach in it. I could see that. Elijah probably drinks Mick Ultra. Bible Belt Beauties probably drinks Miller Lite. And Peg and Megan drinks Zima. We already know that. He told us that on the program. Final segment of the program here on the rundown on Fox Sports Radio 1400 around the world on the iHeart Radio app. Thanks for downloading the podcast. It's up every day, 5 o'clock. Go and check it out. All right, so this segment, I want to blitz through some stuff here as we roll along. First of all, we're at a point now where we were talking about woke stuff earlier. Cynthia Cooper, the former Texas Southern women's basketball coach, was a great, great player in her time. Why am I talking about women's basketball? I'll tell you in a second. Let's go to the phones. Welcome into the rundown. Good afternoon.
Rob, it's Bobby in KC.
Hey, Bobby.
I'll put an advertisement one more time.
Sure.
Saul Canelo Alvarez fights Saturday night against the big Russian on pay-per-view.
Yeah, we got to root for Alvarez against the Russian, right?
That's right.
There you
He's
go.
not getting in there with a tomato can. He was looking up at him at the weigh-in.
Yeah,
Staring each other down. His own he's a tomato can.
What do they weigh? What are they at a catch weight for that fight? What is it?
No, 175, I believe, light heavyweight. You go by boxing weights.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know if they were going to fight somewhere else, but yeah, 175. Okay.
I believe it is, because I think it's for all of Canelo Alvarez's light heavyweight championships. I think he has 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has the Ring Magazine one, but anyway, it's on Saturday night. The card starts at 8, so great card.
All right, buddy. Hey, I appreciate
great
it.
Card. The Kentucky Derby, don't have much of an opinion about it. I haven't really been able to gather too much information, so it's that's the Run for the Roses Saturday.
I've got my pick. We'll tell you about that in a moment, but always about the sweet science.
I think Epicenter will probably do it from a little bit of research I did. I think Epicenter will win. I don't know about the place in the show, about boxing a trifecta.
All right.
Okay.
Appreciate it,
so
man.
Have a happy Mother's Day for you and your whole household. Take care.
Thank you, buddy. Bye-bye. All right. So people are going to ask, Rob, and actually Elijah says, Rob, you're the only person who talks about women's basketball. Elijah, you're going to want me to talk about this women's basketball story, because I'm going to tell you what Cynthia Cooper Dykes, which is her married name, what she said. Now, Cynthia Cooper was an amazing basketball player, blah, blah, blah. We can get into all of that. But apparently she is being sued. She's the 3rd winningest school coach in school history. She's been slapped with Title IX complaints by former players and assistants. Now, why? Because she allegedly said to a depressed member of her team, no, she'll be all right. She just needs some blank. I'll fill in the blanks there. She just needs some blank. That's all. Before adding, that player is a sorry ass virgin. Yes. Oh no, that's not all she said. She also said, allegedly told a staffer who had a suggestion, get the blank out of my gym. Go home. You're a nobody. In addition to several other curse words that I cannot say on the radio. I just can't say. At Texas Southern in 2012, a male assistant allegedly complained about not having a social life because of early practices that prevented him from going out. Cooper Dyke allegedly proceeds to get in front of him on her knees and look like she's performing sex acts. I think I can say that without getting in trouble. In another incident, she supposedly told a player running slow during a drill was slow because she was getting rough sex from her boyfriend all the time. Players also accused her of naming plays hot sex and calling players nasty names. So, yeah, not good. Not good at all. She's getting sued for that. And that's the women's basketball story I wanted to bring to you today. I can't read you all the stuff she said, but let's just make this implication. If you were playing well, you were playing well because your boyfriend was doing things to you. If you weren't playing well, it was because you weren't getting things done to you by your boyfriend. There you go. I can say that. And this woman is a complete savage. Very good, Elijah. That's why I wanted to bring that up today. So a couple other things before we get out of here. Jay says he supports all women, even the psychos. Yes, sir. Don't have a problem with that. The USFL is implementing something that may end up going to the NFL. You know, remember when we had the XFL, the first version with Vince McMahon, and that's why we have the camera that's over the field now where you can see the different angles and all that. Yeah. The thing from the USFL that is going to probably make its way to the NFL is this week they're going to use a running clock after each incomplete pass during the first and third quarters. The goal is to keep the lengths of the game under 3 hours. The average NFL game during the 2021-22 season was 3 hours and 12 minutes. They're wanting to cut the time of the game down. And I say good for you, especially considering the fact that No one in that league can actually throw a football that's not a wounded duck. And there aren't very many passes completed anyway. So you got the clock stopping a lot. Let it go that way the first and the third quarter. Speed the game up a little bit. Peg and Megan wants a date with Cynthia Cooper. Okay. I mean, she is 58. We can hook you up. You guys are in the same age group. That might work out for you. All right, final thing today, the Kentucky Derby. I'm a guy that I watch the Kentucky Derby. It's just one of those weird sporting events. I always say that the horse that I want to bet on, if they ever name a horse Lose and I'm Glue, that's the horse that you want. Because they've already told that horse, you don't win this race, we'll start calling you Elmer's. Just saying. So there's that. Anyway, some of the names that are in the Kentucky Derby, I'm going to give you some of the horse names because I like them, just on the horse front, on the name front. Here are some of the names. Happy Jack is 30-1. Okay. Summer is Tomorrow is 30-1. Smile Happy is 20-1. Crown Pride is 20-1. Charge It is 20-1. Tis the Bomb is 30-1. Zandon is 3-1. There's a favorite. Pioneer of Medina. Where the hell do they come up with these names? Is 30-1. Taiba, Taiba, hopefully I'm not pronouncing that incorrectly, is 12-1. What else do we got? Barber Road is 30-1. Simplification is 20-1. White. This is so bad. White Abarrio. I think that's all right. So help me out with this. Abarrio. Man, I sound like I'm a hillbilly. White Abarrio. That's not working. Cyberknife. That sounds like you people in the chat room coming in every day making comments about Rob being a chunky fool. Some of y'all should change your name to Cyberknife. All right, here we go. Classic Causeway. Classic Causeway is 30-1. Tawny Port is 30-1. Zozo's is 20-1. Ethereal Road is 30-1. So it looks like you got some like Zandon is 3-1 and Epicenter is 7-2. So those should be, I guess, your favorites there. Big Barney Ross, do you have like one of those silly hats that you wear to go to the race? I mean, that's part of like Kentucky fandom, right? You got to go to the Kentucky Derby, right? I don't know. Follow me on Twitter. I'm going to figure out who's going to win this race, and I'll put it out an hour before post time tomorrow. That way you can place your bets. How's that? If I get it right, Big Barney Ross has to take a picture in his dress and his hat. We'll post that on the Twitter page at Rob Sounds Good. A bowler's hat. Very good, sir. More of the rundown on Monday. Thanks for hanging out. Lawton Swan is next. This is Fox Sports Radio 1400. Kroger Field is a shrine. Damn it, Jay. Jay, you should change your name to Cyberknife. That's just great. That's just great. By the way, I have decided if Georgia wins a national title, I'm going to send a national title this season. I will send some Zima to Jay and to Peg and Megan. And I might send some to Alan too. There you go. There's my thing. If you win the national title this year, you guys can sit around and drink your Zimas together. All at the expense of the rundown. Looking forward to that. It's not a fake name. You can put that on your license. No one cares. I do value the fact that you put your name out there. That's pretty good. All right, so see you guys Sunday night where we debut the Tennessee song that we're going to play when we deal with Tennessee fans. Get ready for that on the Rob and Kale show on Sunday night. What do you want an NIL deal for? Are you playing? I mean, if you're playing, okay. You're betting on Burt Reynolds and the Bandit. That's funny. All right, as always, I appreciate you guys, man. You mean a lot to the show. We'll see you later on.